Yeah. Okay.
Did you make that?
Silent Hill TDS. J. Leo. Hitchhikers. Check. I'ma spit fire and propane. Keep a little baggie of some veggies, your romaine. Zombie ass bitch tryna eat up the whole brain. While this bummy ass nigga still asking for more change. Get your taste buds lit, popping right under your tongue. Lighting up a sharp strain, feel like it's chopping your lungs. Smoke another leaf to the head, feeling like Danny Phantom. Got a medicine jar in my car full of zany samples. Running with the factions with my rations getting low. Get down on the floor, blood races like I'm whipping blow. Shit show for show, I don't know, I just release and go. Can't hear what you're saying, this sweet too loud and you're speaking low. Johnny smoking haze, ain't a blaze, I got heat to throw. Then I'm let the heater flow and send you to the heat below. Think it's a game, I pick the dice before you let him roll. Think I'm insane, but from the start I never had control. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale of the moonlight? Have you ever laid with a demon with the flames by your bedside? Smoking the air, sipping on spirits, get the mood right, get the crew hype. Middle fingers to the blue lights, dancing on your grave while I gaze into the moonlight.
Rolling through the city, heart is empty, but I'm feeling frisky, knowing I can make it even though these niggas want it in me. Got some rolling papers and some bitches, yeah, we getting litty, feeling out of place. Fuck it, I got my niggas with me. We on a long road, smoking trees and bagging hoes. Love is faded, I'm jaded, consequences are never told. Running out of character, the real me is getting old. Facing the facade, 50 shades, and I fall below. I'm on some new shit, underworld a new bitch. Your loose lips tangle you up, I guess this news fits. I do this, spitting some fire in F doom hits. The sun god bringing some light, now watch your mood switch. Hieroglyphs when writing scripts, now my stable conquering. Conjuring some spirits in the valleys where they die and quit. Just a gladiator on a righteous tip, still sharp and steel, but I'm colder than the Arctic gets.
Chill. What's up, people? What's up? Oh, there we are. All right. I don't know what happened, y'all. I really don't know. Just shit started acting weird. I have no idea what the hell had just happened. And that has never happened to me. Literally, my whole screen went blank. I had disappeared. Yeah, I don't know. I swear it's not the drugs, y'all. It's not the weed. The weed don't make me just disappear like that. I do smoke good weed, but not that good of good weed that I just disappear. So I have no idea what the hell had happened. But anyway, like always, like I said, Silent Hill, J. Leo, the official theme song to I.O.W. Sports Late Night Owl Edition. Going over to the website, www.after119.com. And my dog's tripping. He might need some of my weed. So I'm going to need him to calm down. You hush down over there, dog. Trying to record, trying to get this money. That's how it feeds your little spoiled ass. See, them damn dogs and babies and dogs just do whatever the hell they want to. They reckless. They just sit in your house all day, eating up all your food, you know, taking all the energy out the house, sucking all the air, and just so damn selfish. I'm kidding, y'all. Anyway, like I said, the website www.iof19.com. Cop some merch, I.O.W sports merch. Our sister company podcast, I.O.W podcast. They got merch on there, and then of course, Detroit Mail himself has the J. Edwin collection on there. And then, like I said, always go to the Patreon if you're feeling real charitable. Go ahead, drop some coins in there. Help us, get some of these expenses taken care of. And most importantly, just go to your respective app store and go download the I.O.W Network app. You see it scrolling on the bottom of the screen. If you have Google Play Store, Apple Store, it's available on both. So go copy it. A lot of great content, a lot of great music from independent and local artists, as well as mainstream. I mean, we got a lot of great stuff on there. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed at all. I'm telling you. And before I bring the homie Big Nick in, we're going to go ahead and do our wild card mark top play of the night. Bear with me. The quality ain't good, but it just highlights just a great play. And we got to keep the theme going. We've been having some great highlights of big man getting busy in the world of football. And hey, we might as well keep the tradition going right here. Welcome on top play of the night comes from the MAC. If you guys want to watch some good football, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I'm serious. And Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Yes, there's football, college football on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. The MAC, the Mid-Atlantic Conference, they have some great football, but comes from Eastern Michigan. Check out Big Man Get Busy. Big Man getting busy. What's up, big homie?
It's the first time I saw a football team in green make a good play, so thank you for that.
Man, how you doing tonight, big homie?
The fire department just cleared out of here about 45 minutes ago. The smoke alarm was on the fritz saying carbon monoxide warning. I had to call them out to come here. It was nuts. They're like, it might be at its end, but we cleared the apartment. You're good. It's 2015. I just moved in here. It's a 2015 alarm, so it was a little nuts here for a while. But
everything good?
Everything's good.
Okay.
If I pass out, just we have.
I thought it was the peanut butter whiskey, but I wouldn't have blamed it on carbon monoxide. That wouldn't have been my first choice.
Good way to go. You forgot one. I heard the dog going nuts. You said dogs, children. You forgot women. They do whatever they want. You got to add women to the list. They do whatever they want.
Well, usually, Nick, I don't like to state the obvious, so usually I don't, say things
and as always, we have to say the views of Nick are not those of I.O.W Sports.
Man, glad to have you back another night, my man. And it's funny that you talk about guys in green because you're a big fan of Robert Salah. I'm not sure. I guess we never really talked about your feelings of Rex Ryan, but seems like your current coach, and your former coach having a little beef right now.
It seems like the former coach who nobody wants to sign because of how he is. So ESPN signs him, and this is what you get out of him. He was a great defensive coordinator. He's not a great head coach. He's a great defensive coordinator. He was fantastic at calling a defense. It's very easy to call defense too, and you got Revis and Cromartie on each side, and you can just blitz everybody every time.
Hell, he had a good gig in Baltimore when he's a D coordinator too.
You know, I was a big Rex fan. You know, I'm very similar to Rex. I'm brash. I'm loud. I say shit. I don't care what people think of when I open my mouth. But I think he's. I'm not an ESPN fan. I don't know if I've ever gone on there and said this, but I only watch games.
Yeah, you let us know. You made it known you're not a fan of the ESPN.
Yeah. If when I wake up, I pop on the NFL Network. I'd rather watch all NFL than.
I love Good Morning Football. That's a great show.
Great. I love Kay.
Oh, Kay's funny. Kay is funny.
I love her. She started doing this fashion thing with people, and I think she got too thin. She's like supermodel thin now.
Yeah, she is.
Go back about 3 years ago, that would be my hall pass.
Yeah.
That would be my hall pass. I swear that would be the one I pick.
They just had
Cynthia Freeland.
Boy, you've been on that damn Cynthia Freeland.
I tell you, she dresses like I pick out her outfits.
Hey, she's a beautiful woman. I love some MJ Acosta. Oh my God, I love some MJ Acosta. Yeah. But I got a clip of just to keep everybody in the loop of this little drama. It's crazy because like this shit came out of nowhere.
It's just Rex trying to get himself involved.
Yeah, let's take a look.
This guy's supposed to be a defensive guru. I heard everything, and I take it personal on this one. Everything I heard about was, well, this guy's a lot like myself, but without the bad part. Yeah, well, some of the bad part you need. And don't ever compare this guy to me, this Robert Saleh to me, because statistically, one time they were like a top defense. All right. Here's one thing they're going to be familiar with. 4 out of 5 years, the 49ers were dead last in their division. So he's going to be dead last again. So he's used to that. So to me, I'm a little pissed off about it when I hear that this guy, his background's a lot like yours. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Quit trying to tell the New York fan base that he's going to be like me as a defensive-minded guy or whatever.
Honestly, you know what? I've never met Rex. I've never had a conversation with Rex. I don't even know him except for people who know him throughout the league. So obviously, if it's that personal for him, he knows where to find me. So,
were you surprised that he said it?
I'm not surprised by him. He's always got something to say.
Ooh.
I like it. That's fucking gangster. You got something to say? You know the address in Florham Park. Come see me, bitch.
You know where to find me.
You know where I'm at. Your key code don't work for the building anymore, but you're welcome to stop by and knock.
And we'll think about letting you in. We'll think about it. Man, here's my thing. For Rex Ryan, it took the only gig that was going to hire him, ESPN. I agree with you. Great defensive mind. Of course, you get the benefit of having some great defensive players that you had on your roster, both in Baltimore and at your time in the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. When you had Cromartie and Revis, man, you didn't have to worry about your defense.
You had Sean Ellis. You had Jason Taylor playing. You had Bart Scott. You had David Harris. You had a very good, well-rounded team that could stop the run, could get after the quarterback. They it's a small window, but they didn't do too well long term because the management gave away all the draft picks and fucked everything up for them. When I look at Salah, I've told you this, in these Jets groups that I'm in, I feel like I'm a therapist half the time. So basically what I've been telling people, they're like, oh, it's the coaching. I go, really? It's the coaching? I go, Carl Lawson was supposed to help out Quinnen Williams, take away double teams. He blew out his Achilles in August and never got to see the field together. Teams can now double team Quinnen Williams, neutralize him, and no one else is winning their one-on-one matchups anywhere else. So there's no reason for teams to panic and keep extra guys in. Now, this entire scheme that Salah ran in 49ers and here is zone-based.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick apart a zone if there's no pressure. This entire scheme is based on getting to the quarterback.
Yeah.
But when you can't get to the quarterback, you can't cover. You got a young secondary. You lost Marcus May and you lost Joyner. You're only two veterans in the secondary who are supposed to be your leaders and help these young guys come along. They're gone. Offensively, you need a center, you need a right guard, you need a right tackle, you need a tight end, you need another wide receiver, and you need your young quarterback to develop. So there's a lot of pieces missing. This is not a 2009, 2010 Jets Rex Ryan team that is filled with veterans and just missing a little bit. Yeah. But that team was so veteran built, was the top offensive line in football. We're nowhere near that. We're near the bottom 5.
Yeah.
So it's apples and oranges, but when you work for ESPN, they want headlines. And Rex gives you headlines because Rex will take personal vendettas and create them to create a story. And that's exactly what he did here.
And that was going to bring me up to my point. Rex Ryan, you literally took the only gig that was going to hire you. You still have aspirations to coach in the NFL, but there's a reason why you're not coaching. Is nobody else's fault.
It's this too.
It's 100% him.
It's a day and era of PC and playing, the saying the right things publicly.
Well, owners want their coaches to be quiet. They just want them to talk football. X's and O's.
Story. There should never be the story.
Never. And so he's going to continue as long as ESPN tolerates him and keep him on that job. That'll be the only gig football related that he can get, unless he starts coaching high school football. And there's nothing wrong with coaching high school football, but for a guy that had a coaching job for many years as coordinator, and then you had 2 stints as a head coaching job, and nobody's calling your phone.
And he was considered the best D coordinator at one point.
Yeah,
I think that late 2000s when he was with Baltimore and came to the Jets, I mean, he was on par with Belichick, right? Everyone was saying like those were the top 2 defensive minds at the time.
I mean, that's what they say, but come on, man. You and me both know when you got Ray Lewis on your defense, he's automatically the coach of that defense anyway. He's just getting your scheme to make it look good.
Yeah.
So
you create the plays to give Ray the option, and Ray makes the final call. Ray and Ed were making the final calls out there.
Yeah, bro. You had 2 Hall of Famers on your defense, and then you had you
think Suggs? You think Suggs is Hall of Fame too?
You see, here's my thing about
borderline.
I say he's borderline. Here's my thing about the Hall of Fame, and I don't like the way that they do it in any league, NBA, NFL, or Major League Baseball. But with the NFL, I don't think you can always go just based off of stats. I like to put people in on impact. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Suggs did have a minute there when he had some impact, but he was on a good damn defense, man. It's kind of hard because it's kind of hard to say that he's a shoo-in Hall of Famer, but when you got 2 Hall of Famers literally behind you, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get seen because they cover a lot of crap that doesn't make it to the surface because they're that damn good. So I don't know. If you start comparing his numbers to other Hall of Famers and he's gotten the same sacks and hits and tackles and stuff like Hall of Famers that are already in, then I say put him in. But no diss to T Sizzle. I like Sizzle, but damn it, man, a lot of shit looks good.
Conversation. Like we would have to pull his stats, compare them to other guys. It's something we could break down one day. But
yeah, we'll do that one day. But
he just popped into my head as another big name in that defense. But like you said, he's had amazing talent around him. And then as soon as the talent went away, he went away.
Because he actually had to coach at that point. And I said that in the Facebook group tonight because I was talking about the Warriors and Nets, and we'll get to talk about it too.
No need. We can do it.
I don't know. We're gonna talk about it, dog, because he had made well shit, since we're here, we might as well jump to it.
All right.
A guy made a comment and said that Steve Nash is not a good coach. And I can see why he said that, because when I saw what some of the coaching decisions that he made in that playoff series against the Milwaukee Bucks, I felt like he kind of coached them out of winning that series. And you know,
Joe
my
Harris lost that series. Joe Harris couldn't throw the fucking ball in the ocean.
well, yeah,
Joe Harris is a very good shooter, and for some reason, he looked like Jokic's brothers got a hold of him before the series. He was like, "We need you to lose the series." He's like,
not the Jokic brothers, boy.
"That's it. That's
Hey,
the reason they're here in America to fix games."
hey, speaking of that Jokic shit, with them and the Morris twins, if I'm the Morris twins, I am keeping my mouth shut. I know people could play gangster all they want in America, but them Serbians,
Yeah,
I done seen enough damn kind of movies. Like what was the guy Liam Nielsen Taken? I didn't seen enough of them. I didn't seen enough different kind of movies where Americans go over there in Europe, and next thing you know they missing and
I'm never going to Europe. I don't care if America sinks. I'm never going to Europe. I'm not for it. You go into a restaurant, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, it's empty, and there's bosses having meetings, and they kill you for just walking in on the meeting. I'm good.
I don't want no kind of smoke. The only smoke I like is cigars and weed. I am not messing.
You sure you don't want to change that order?
No, it don't even matter. Because when it comes to them damn Jokic brothers and them Serbians, that ain't the smoke I want. I call me scared, call me bitch. I don't care. call me alive.
Call me a survivor. Exactly. Yeah. Call me a survivor. That's it.
Call me a man that's still breathing.
You'll be sitting right there next to him, like, "Oh, fuck those Morris brothers. Let's get them. We're with you."
And if y'all get beat down, I'm gonna look at you and say, "I tried to tell you, leave them boys alone. You better leave them damn Jokic twins alone. You better leave them Jokic twins alone." But back to the Warriors and Nets. Looking at this game tonight, and I caught about 3/4 of it. It was a close game at halftime. And then halftime happened, and it went, and then the second half started, and then that was pretty much it.
I'll be real with you. Like 8:30, 9 o'clock is my time on the couch where I catch like a quick little nap, and like the basketball's been putting me to sleep. And I was watching it. I think the Nets were up by about 8. I was like, "Oh, it's good shit." I wake up. I'm like, "Oh, let me see the score." I look at the TV. I was like, down 16. Like, what the fuck? How long was I asleep? I mean, I looked at the stats and everything. It looks like they had a good defensive plan to shut KD down. I know earlier in the game they mentioned the announcer said that he went up to Kerr and the other guy was like, "What is this boxing one shit?" Like, because they were trying to eliminate him. And Harden isn't as explosive as he used to be. He's still quick-footed with the step back. But, you know, years past, you see him getting there and dunking, and now he's like just throwing up floaters. Joe Harris didn't play. He twisted his ankle.
Yeah.
Aldridge barely played. I don't know. Well, he's been very, very good for them coming off the bench. So it was a surprise to see that he had like no production tonight. I can't say if it was an off night because the Nets have been playing well, and you know everyone when you shoot, you're gonna have off nights.
Yeah, and LaMarcus Aldridge only played 9 minutes. I think he had tweaked something, and they probably just arrested him or something for the rest of the game. But yeah, you're right. Joe Harris didn't play because of the ankle. And here's my thing about James Harden. He always starts slow in the first few weeks of the season. I don't know if that's always his, get into game shape time, which is weird. You usually take the off season to get in shape, and then he kind of uses the first few weeks of the season to kind of like get into shape. So
I've been watching a lot of their games, and it's the first time I'm really watching Harden and Durant on a consistent basis. And what I've noticed with Harden is he chooses his times to be a scorer. Today, I got to give Golden State credit. They got some young athletic guys who can defend and cut down lanes, and they can move.
They do.
Poole and Peyton. Iguodala's always been a good defensive player. You got Green. So now offensively, I mean, that's a tough team, man. And they don't even have Clay yet.
That's the crazy
another
thing.
Good defender and another elite shooter. So you're looking at a team that could really roll.
That's the crazy thing, because I was just thinking that too. Like Clay's not even back yet. And I was listening to the announcers and on the coverage, and he's getting closer to coming back.
They said early in the game he just got cleared for 5-on-5.
Yeah,
it's like the last hurdle to clear before he gets activated.
I mean, Andrew Wiggins all of a sudden is starting to look like the Andrew Wiggins that everybody thought we were supposed to get when he first got into the league.
Yeah.
Like, and he's still relatively young. He's probably like 26, 27 years old. So he still got fresh legs. So, Jordan Poole has been playing phenomenal basketball.
Rookie or second year for Poole?
Let me look him up real quick.
He went to Michigan. He hit that crazy 3-pointer.
Yeah, Michigan. He's 22 years old. It's not saying.
It might be his third year because I think he came out after a year or two.
I'm a double check though. It's third year. It's his third year. But he's adding to that, and then I've fallen crazy in love with Gary Payton Jr. the second. No homo, but just I love his motor. I love his fight. He definitely
a little bit of homo. His legs when he jumps.
But no, he man, I'm telling you, he definitely has his father's like fight and grit in playing basketball. So I respect that like hell.
And when he learns the NBA game more, because the NBA game is always much different than the college game.
Yeah,
he's getting by raw athleticism right now. When he learns the game and develops a shot, that's a nice player in the making for him.
Well, honestly, what killed the Nets? Of course, you already alluded to a great defensive scheme to make sure that at least shut one of those guys down, James Harden or KD, and 19. Yeah, he didn't score a second half bucket
for the fourth quarter because they were down.
Oh no,
he had 11 in the first quarter, and then he only had 8 in the second and third.
Yeah, and no buckets at all in the second half. Which, how many times can you say Kevin Durant's not going to score in the second half? It's not a lot of times you're going to say that. But what really killed you, of course, is the light skinned assassin, man, Steph Curry, man. He was cooking tonight.
Yeah,
12 for 19. The man goes 9 for 14 downtown.
I'm actually watching the highlights now.
He couldn't miss, man.
No.
He could not miss.
He hasn't missed a lot this year. 9 of 14 from 3-pointers, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Wiggins, 19 points. Poole, 17. That's Harden had 24, but I think he was like KD was 6 of 19 from the field.
Yeah,
Harden was like 5 of 15. I mean, it was.
Man, literally, right. I was looking at the game, and right when Kevin Durant gets the ball and he's trying to spot up at the 3-point, it's like dudes was running to him and put hands all in his face. They made sure once he got the ball, it's like you're seeing at least 4 hands, man. So
it's a good scheme.
Oh, good scheme.
But now the next time you play, let me see Steve Nash make some adjustments. Let me see how do you counter it next time.
That's what I want to see. Because what scares me about the Nets is they at any moment they can obviously go off offensively, and I get that. But what scares me is when you play teams that are going to come up with these different schemes to shut down KD, and then so you're losing a major scoring factor right there. I gotta say it, man. It looks like the Nets could use a little Kyrie right now.
Yeah, they're missing that guy who can get to the basket, guy create his own shot, guy who can pull up and just he's a quicker, smaller version of KD, right? He's a great mid-range shooter. The only thing that I'm hoping for is that this new guy who was elected mayor of New York
gets rid of that mandate.
Well, he's the day he won the election on election night, he said that one of the things we're gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to sit down and maybe reassess this and get like he basically said Kyrie's too good not to be playing. Let's see what we can do.
Oh wow!
Like that's me summarizing it, but he was basically like, yeah, we're gonna have to reassess this come January 1st. So if you're the Nets and you're first place, top 3 in the conference, and you pick up Kyrie Irving, you get him back in game shape, and you get him January 15th, that's a hell. And he misses some time, so he's fresh coming in January. That could be a hell of a midseason acquisition. Even though he's on the roster, he's not. It's one of these weird
and there's no
situations.
and there's no diss to Brooklyn, because I understand they're a good team, but the only thing that really does scare me is that when they're playing good teams right now, like in the NBA, lost to the Warriors, lost to the Bulls, they're losing to some of these teams that are considered good teams, lost to the Sixers, lost to the Heat, and right now these teams are looking pretty good in the standings, and they're picking up majority of their wins against lesser talented teams, depleted teams just functioning. Like they'll beat the Lakers right now. Anybody beat the Lakers. But I think that's one thing that's scaring me right now. I'm not saying panicking right now, but you want to see your team take down some of the top teams in the league in the regular season, because that gives you a better optimism when it comes playoff time. Like, oh, they can hang with them. They can beat them. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's a slippery slope how I want to explain this, because I don't want people to take it the wrong way.
Nah, just say what you feel.
Kyrie is talented. We can't deny that. When he plays, that team's on another level. But he doesn't play all the time. But when you build your team and you account that financial part of it to a player who now isn't there, in theory, you could have spent that money on another big player. So the fact that you're playing without one of your major pieces and your record is this good, yeah, you're missing something when you go against those other teams that are complete and they have their whole roster. You're taking away a guy who could go off for 50 on any given night.
True.
Off for the team. So when you can, and you don't have that quickness to get to the rim. KD is big and long and goofy, and his long strides get him there. Harden is almost like a fullback now, trying to just drive. You need that shake and bake, and that
he's
guy
built like a fullback too,
which then creates the double teams, and then that's when you get guys wide open shooting. But when you're not afraid of anybody beating you off the dribble, you don't have to leave your guy by that much, and your rotations are less and quicker. So I think it's a 6 of one, half dozen of the other situation with the Nets right now. But if they get him back and everyone else is healthy, watch out. Like, all you got to do is tread water. Stay in the top 4, Oh,
yeah. No, they're
which
third.
They're very easily capable of doing.
Yeah, they're third in the East. So that's why I'm not saying I'm panicking right now. I'm just saying, there's going to be things that you see on different kind of teams or whatever issues that they have right now. That just stands out to me right now.
Yeah.
And
it's a great point, because you made a great analysis on it. They're losing to the good teams, but they're beating up on the bad teams.
Yeah.
But we say it all the time. You got to beat the teams you should beat.
Yes.
And then when you get right, that's when you go over the top with the other team. So good point on your part.
And it's still crazy early. They only played 15 games. I'm also looking for them to actually get a little bit more of an inside presence. You know what I'm saying? I know LaMarcus Aldridge is there, but give me, if they can have somebody like a Bobby Portis, a big man that's just going to bring some crazy energy. You know what I'm saying? Like Blake Griffin.
He's not an inside guy. He's forced to play there sometimes.
Yeah.
They brought Millsap in.
Yeah, but he's older.
He's older.
Millsap's old.
Aldridge is older.
Yeah.
Got Claxton, who was long and high energy, and I liked him a little bit last year. And now with Aldridge and Millsap, he's kind of
losing
bumped
his
down to like 11, 12th man instead of 7 or 8. And I think what you're seeing is a team that maybe needs to reassess their rotation and maybe try to change things up a little bit to get a little more spark.
And that's definitely Steve Nash's job right there.
Yeah.
That's
It's mostly the assistants. You got the assistant that runs the defense. You got the assistant that runs the plays.
Yeah.
You got the assistant that works on the rotations, and then he has like final call over it. I think head coaches in the NBA get too much credit and too much blame because their staffs. You look at the sidelines a lot of times when it's a big moment. It's not always the head coach drawing things up. It's the scout coach saying, this is what they run here. This is what they do. Like everyone's got their own specialty area, like offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams, quarterbacks coach. Same thing with the NBA. And I think too many times head coaches Steve Kerr is one of them, gets too much credit. I could have coached that fucking team to a couple NBA finals. I've coached basketball for 20 years. I could coach that team to the NBA finals. That wasn't an accomplishment. I would also like to say I would not have blown a 3-1 lead.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what scares me about the Nets is when you up 3-1. And I get it. Kyrie got hurt. He missed the rest of that series. James Harden was pretty much playing on one leg. But I think one thing that bothered me about that series is what you got as a roster, and his rotation was only like 8-man deep. Yeah. And I'm like, come on, like you can't seriously believe that a one-legged Harden playing 40 plus minutes is going to be beneficial to you. One, he was already a defensive liability, and one-legged Harden is definitely ain't playing no defense. So you got an issue there.
You can give Harden 3 or 4 legs. He's still not. He's just going to get his rebounds to get his stats.
I mean, it's just some of the rotation decisions and choices. I'm kind of scratching my head. I'm like, come on, Nash. Like, also, you played in the league.
It's also a young coach. He wasn't really an assistant, right?
Yeah, that was his rookie year. Yeah.
But he was never an assistant, right? He just went straight to a head coaching job, I think.
As far as if I remember correctly, he was kind of like some kind of consultant with the Suns or something like that.
Yeah. But I don't think he was on the bench. Like I don't think coaching job. So he's learning too. But
true.
That's why he brought in the D'Antoni as an assistant last year, and he brought some guys who have experience on the bench. It's also to help him, not just the team. It's
true.
Through the coaching process.
Oh yeah, because it's something foreign to him. It's definitely something.
I like him. Like he's. If I didn't like him, I'd say it. But I don't think he's ever done anything so egregious that it's would turn me on him. He says a lot of the right stuff. He's cool, calm demeanor, which I like. You need that for this generation in the NBA. You can't have the Bobby Knights of the 70s.
Oh, Bobby Knight wouldn't survive in this type of basketball.
Same reason Rex Ryan's not coaching, right? See how we tied that all together here at I.O.W. Like when you're too much bravado, you don't last. Like Belichick's a dick, but he's a dick to the media.
Yeah.
And sometimes his players. Let's be real.
Hey, and my thing is if I even see any signs of dick, I just know you're a dick. So But no, I look, the Nets will be fine. They got the benefit of having a top 3 player in KD, a top 10 player in Harden. Whenever he decides to get in full game shape, his little woes right now will pass. Yeah. And just like any other team, there's going to be ups and downs through a season, especially in the 82 game season. So
it's off nights. You basically played that game tonight without Joe Harris, Aldridge, and Kyrie. Yeah, that's 3 of your top 7 that you didn't play with tonight. Yeah, so I'm not over concerned about it. There's games where no name team, the Hornets, can beat you 130-89 if you're off.
Why would sleep on the Hornets though?
But they were just the first team to pop into my head.
I got you.
There's nights where that
say the Cavaliers because that's trash.
No, they're not too bad. I really like Allen. I wish Allen would have came back to the Nets because that's what they're missing right now. Allen, LeVert, and Dinwiddie were the core of that team, and they got rid of them.
If Dinwiddie if he would have signed back with you guys, you'd be a totally different team. Yeah. But unfortunately, you gave up Jared Allen to get James Harden, which is When I saw that trade, I'm like, no, don't give up Jared Allen. Jared Allen is exactly that piece that I said that you need, that energy inside guy. He was exactly that. He was a monster on the board. Well, he is a monster on getting rebounds.
Yeah.
He's never afraid to meet a player at the high point trying to dunk and make a highlight. And he's not scared to get dunked on, because more times than not, he's going to block it more to get dunked on.
I was hoping we got him back this offseason, because
Man,
fine there.
yeah, I shouldn't even
Did he
say
learn nothing from Odell? Nothing good happened.
Yeah, I mean, well, I do retract that statement. Cavaliers looking all right at 9-6, 5th seed right now, but it's the Cavaliers. We'll see how long that'll last. Just like you said, it doesn't last in Cleveland. So everything good doesn't always last in Cleveland.
And even when it does, your king from Akron leaves.
Oh, he leaves. Oh, he was gone. He was
Nobody
gone.
wants to be in Cleveland. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame wishes it could pack up and leave.
Crazy story.
What you got?
So Coach K, his final season of coaching, and his grandson is rolling the streets of North Carolina in Durham. He does attend Duke, and one of the players got arrested for DWI. And the first thing that popped into my head, I'm like, out of all the seasons, Coach K's final season, he has a player get popped with a DWI, and it's his grandson, his blood. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing here, kid? Oh, of course you Carolina talker. You love it. Oh, you love it.
Hey, man, it all comes down to grandparenting, and that's what it's about.
Just damn the parents, it's the grandparents' fault.
Hey, bring him to school with me. And kudos to the police in Durham, whether it's the school police or the town. When he pops that name out and shows the ID, they're like, oh, fuck, what do we do? Like, the body cam's on. We can't shut the body cam off now.
No, covering this one up.
Yeah, so, and that's what you get now. Like, these guys got to get popped because it's on video. So it's like, for the officer, your job is more important to you than their life is to you. So you gotta bring that one in.
Oh, well, because if he's already a DWI and he blew a .08, which is the legal limit, but still that makes you legally intoxicated. So
that's the limit in Carolina?
Yeah, .08.
Okay.
So if the police officers don't do their job and pop him for that, and if he goes on and God forbid is the next Henry Ruggs, that looks bad on that department.
Yeah.
So hey, you gotta do it.
Nowadays with social media and everything, God forbid, like you said, something wild happens. Life is more important than sports.
Big time. Especially
in the era where your grandfather had many millions of dollars. Get a fucking Uber, man. Get a fucking Uber.
That's my thing.
Like, it's so easy.
And not saying that he should name drop who his granddad is, but at some point, just because that is your granddad, you don't want to be drawing that type of negative attention towards that way, especially in his final year.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily affect Coach K and Duke basketball. I just think that's wild that his grandson of all people is the one that's causing the bad headlines. Because
it's somebody with a name like Carlos Boozer. Right? Like, you were always waiting for the DUI story to come out when your last name is Boozer. And since I haven't seen any Duke yet today, I saw Carolina one tonight to get up 3-0 on the season, but I haven't seen. I know you down in Carolina had more access to probably seeing a Duke game. Is his grandson in the rotation? Is he a starter? Is he the 18th kid on the team? Like,
as far as I know, I don't even think he's seeing that much PT. He's probably playing towel boy or water boy right now. And
he's seeing PD, police department. he's seen all the PD tonight.
Oh, he better clench for he see PP. He better calm down. So no, I just think that's wild as hell. Especially just like you said, get an Uber.
Yeah.
Call somebody. Y'all can come back and get the car or how y'all got there at a later time. But you just
Yeah,
don't want
like
to
your
bring.
grandfather can send one of the assistants to go pick it up during
Oh, no
practice.
doubt,
Like
no doubt.
there's some pull down there in that
Oh,
area
yeah.
for you.
Come on, Coach K got pull in Durham, and he could easily be like, yo, somebody go get my grandson before he start acting a fool and bringing negative headlines up. Too late. And I don't think it'll directly affect Duke basketball or Coach K. I'm just saying, like, just because we all know how the media does, you don't want any type of negative distraction on your farewell season. That's all. That's all. So
And where are you in North Carolina? Are you near the Durham, like Raleigh area?
yeah. I'm actually in Cary, but it's a suburb of Raleigh, and I'm actually closer to Durham than I am Raleigh. But it's literally a triangle. They call it the Research Triangle.
Yeah.
It's all like
I went to
within
Chapel
30
Hill a few
minutes.
years ago, so I kind of know a little bit.
It takes me 20 minutes to get to Chapel Hill.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
yeah. Oh yeah. So like if you're ever down here, bro, we got room for you.
Oh, nice.
And shit, well,
That dog and barking and the baby. No.
hell, and Detroit Mail's not far from me. He's 15 minutes from me, so
Nice.
yeah, bro. If you're ever down in
I
Chapel Hill,
want to get down to Chapel Hill again with my son. Definitely.
I've always wanted to get to a Duke Carolina basketball game.
You need a lot of Patreon.
Oh yes, that I do know, and you still probably sitting closer to God for how much you pay. So
a couple years ago, my girlfriend at the time said, "You have your choice." She's like, against Duke in the last row, or against Notre Dame in the 12th row, and I was like, "Give me Notre Dame." And we went down, and I was in the 12th row, right behind the Carolina bench.
I'm actually surprised you chose that one.
I hate Duke too much. Like, I don't even want to be around those people. Like, not so much.
Hey man, I'm gonna say this, and Duke fans get mad at me. I don't care. I don't root for Duke, and I don't necessarily root for Carolina. I've always loved the colors, the Tar Heel blue. So if I had to choose, I would go Carolina. But these Duke fans, my God, do they not remind you of Cowboys fans?
Oh, they're arrogant little bitches. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
These Duke fans are obnoxious as hell.
I hate them.
They can have down years and they still will talk head like they just won the championship. And I'm like, y'all know it's been a minute. Y'all remind me of Cowboys fans so much. Damn Duke fans. It's nauseating. It makes me barf in my mouth sometimes, that way they talk, bro. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I've never liked them.
and this is a bipartisan person saying this, y'all. Like, I just, these damn Dookie fans, boy. And what's funny is half their fan base have been privileged, preppy bastards, and they talk the most shit. And I'm like, shut up before I knock all the preppiness out your bitch ass. But anyway, that's another time. Anyway, let me get off that because
I find nothing wrong with anything you just said. You said it much more eloquently than I
could. But since we're talking about college sports, of course, Tuesday nights they do drop the college football playoff rankings, and to no surprise at all, the big Bulldogs of Georgia still sitting at number one. They've been holding down the number one spot since the beginning of the college football playoff.
They're winning it all. I don't, barring any major injuries or anything crazy with COVID, there's no reason this team should not go to the championship and win it.
Hey, you get no argument from me on that. Of course, Alabama's still holding on to the number 2 seed.
And
Oregon
did some nice quarterback play. This kid in the beginning of the year didn't look too great.
Who is this?
Alabama, their quarterback. The name
Bryce Young.
escapes me. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, Bryce Young.
I don't even
Yeah.
like watching them. Like, to me, Alabama is like Duke basketball. Like, I don't even want to watch unless Georgia's playing. I like Georgia in college, and my son's an Alabama fan. For those who don't know, so like we've been trash talking this SEC game
all season.
the entire year. This kid still owes me 60 push-ups because we had a bet 2 weeks ago. We had a bet. Alabama was playing LSU, and I think Georgia. I forget who Georgia played, but we had a bet, and I was like, I bet you Georgia wins today by more than Alabama wins by, and they did, and the bet was 100 push-ups. This kid did 40. Oh, I'm sorry. He owes me 30. He owes me 30. He did 30 during the Jet game the other day in one shot. I'm like, all right, next time you see me, you give me another 30. But the family like clash going forward with this, like I can only imagine how people who live in the SEC and like the excitement starting to like mount and rise for these potentially 2 matchups.
Oh, it's because they always got those dates circled. They know.
Oh, man.
They know. It's funny because I think I know what you're talking about because Alabama did. They only beat LSU by a touchdown and an extra point.
Yes.
And I think that was the weekend that you guys trounced my Missouri Tigers, like trounced them. It was like 49-6 or something like that. It might have been that week.
I think
but
so.
Alabama's still hanging on that number 2 seed. Oregon sitting at 9-1 at the 3 seed. And of course, the Ohio State at the 4 seed.
Oklahoma fell off this week, right?
Oklahoma fell off. That was a bad loss, man.
Michigan State lost. Was that the week before?
Week before.
Michigan State beat Maryland. The week before they lost to Purdue.
So
got that L.
Cincinnati's still hanging on at 5.
Yeah.
Michigan is at 6, and then there's Michigan State at 7.
And Cincinnati's in a position that a few weeks ago, I remember Mel asking, should anyone be mad? And I'm like, no, because with their schedule, they just got to stay the course. And by attrition and everybody else playing top talent, they're going to lose. If Georgia beats Alabama again, the nation would be in a fucking outrage if Alabama gets in with 2 losses over an undefeated team.
And that was the discussion that they had on the show tonight between Herb Street and Joey Galloway, because they differed on whether Alabama should be admitted as a 2-loss team. Because I'm with you. At some point there's a collision course between Georgia and Alabama, so one of those teams is going to be gone. Oregon.
If Alabama wins, I don't think Georgia's out. If Georgia's a 1-loss,
I don't think so neither.
Georgia cannot get bumped. They've been the best team in the country.
They've been dominating all season.
Yeah, they cannot get bumped out at 1 loss.
100%
against a top 2 team in the country.
100% agree.
And you can't let Oregon, Ohio State, or Cincinnati in over Georgia. There's no
100% agree.
Okay.
And I'm with you. If Alabama loses, I think the least that Georgia should fall is to the 4 seed, or if not the 4 seed,
if Alabama wins, you mean?
Yeah, if Alabama wins, they should either go to 3 or 4.
I still see Georgia being a 2 or 3. I don't see them falling that far because they've beaten a lot of top 25 teams. They've beaten them convincingly. But I also think we might be discussing like pie in the sky here because I don't think Georgia loses to Alabama.
No, I agree with you on that wholeheartedly. But
for argument's sake,
yeah,
you need Ohio State to maybe fall off.
I think Oregon's going to fall before Ohio State.
Okay, that was the next one I was going to say. So we're on the same page again. But if those 3 and 4 lose, Cincinnati moves up.
Oh, they're sliding right in.
Georgia out. There's no fucking way Georgia loses and gets bounced down.
Not at all. Not at all. And if I'm a Bearcats fan, it just hope and pray that Ohio State and Oregon slip up.
Yeah.
Because first of all, Oregon,
Georgia fan in the world, because a 2-loss Alabama team got to go play like Michigan in a bowl.
Man, I really can't see a 2-loss Bama team in there.
The only way Oregon loses their conference championship, Ohio State loses their conference championship, Michigan doesn't win it, Cincinnati gets upset. If everybody, 4 or 5 teams all lose, you're not bumping up Notre Dame. You're not bumping Oklahoma up. You're just going to stay with those teams and say, okay, they all lost. It's equal.
That's
Like,
fair.
Only way if everybody loses in the championship.
That's a fair point because first of all, Oklahoma shouldn't even come nowhere close to this playoff because you guys were undefeated and then you blew a lead against Baylor or couldn't beat a Baylor team which is supposed to be inferior to you guys and you couldn't beat them. So you know that, and plus they haven't had a strong season anyway. They've been on the brink of losing multiple times. So you know, they're not even in the conversation. Michigan
But it
State
would have to be complete and utter chaos. Like it would have to be raining L's left and right, like for Alabama to stay in with 2 losses. Everyone else would have to have 2 losses.
Cincinnati just has to, just like you said, stay the course because I think they only got 2 games left, and then they have their conference championship game. So pretty much 3 games. Just don't look ahead. Take it a game at a time because honestly, every game is a playoff game for them. They have to approach it that way because one slip, and especially because they're in a weaker conference than an American conference,
they're going to fall to like the teens instantly. They're going to drop.
That one loss.
They don't have any ranked opponents, I believe.
I think the new ranked opponent now is Houston that they already had on the schedule, but they're still like in the 20s. So it's not that significant. You know what I'm saying? So it goes back to the conversation we always have about these teams that are not in the big conferences. You got to beef up your schedule.
Yeah.
If Cincinnati beefs up their schedule, and they don't even have to take on some of the top teams in the SEC or ACC, middle of the pack, beat them. But because you get that clout
of play South Carolina.
Yeah.
Play the Gamecocks.
Play them.
But it does take 2 to tango with those out of conference schedules.
It do.
And a lot of people want to pad their wins to make themselves bowl eligible.
True.
So if you're a 500 team in conference, you want to play, Tennessee, Chattanooga, South New Mexico State. Like you want to play those teams and pay them because you're going to make that money in the back in a bowl game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Easily. Wake Forest, I'm shocked Wake Forest is at 10. I mean, I'm not saying because of playoff, they're not making it to playoff, but I haven't seen Wake Forest ranked that high in forever. Probably not in my whole life. I've never seen
Wake Forest ranked that high. Played basketball that
That was good.
That's the last time I ever remember Wake Forest being good at anything. I saw them a couple years ago. And they were like a Wishbone. Are they still running Wishbone? And
no. They finally got smart and spreaded it out. They finally got smart and spreaded it out.
Notre Dame played them a couple years ago, and they were running like Wishbone shit the whole time. I was like, oh my god, you're not Navy. Get the fuck off of this.
Hey, Navy will run the ball down your throat, man. Yeah. I love watching Navy play, man. It's odd to watch them, but I love it because when they hit you with a play action, their play actions are always wide open.
It's like me biting a Five Guys burger. It's a deep wide open love. It's a hard, big, juicy bite.
In other college football news before we get off the air, Justin Fuentes, he's out at head coach at Virginia Tech. He's been there the last 4 or 5 years, and he just wasn't the guy. I got a good friend down in Charlotte, and he couldn't wait for this news that Fuentes was out at Virginia Tech because, Virginia Tech used to be one of those schools in football, especially in Beamer ball, man. You see Virginia Tech, you was like, oh, yeah, we either gonna get our ass kicked or we gonna be in a dog fight. It ain't like that no more. It just ain't.
No, the best part of their game is their entrance with Metallica, and then
it's
time to go home.
Hey, when they play that damn stadium in Blacksburg goes stupid, bro. They go stupid.
But like after that, it's like, all right, it just goes downhill from here.
Hey, majority of them probably leave. We're like, all right, well, we came here to do the entrance, and I guess we'll go back tailgating in the parking lot.
You don't see them anymore. You can kind of hear it from outside. Save the $70 on a ticket.
But that's gonna be our show today. Big Nick, big homie, man. I always appreciate you chopping it up with me, man. That's what it is, y'all. That's episode 114 in the books. We are racking up these episodes, racking them up. Like always, going over to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, hit the bell notification and let you know every time we come on the air. Like, share, comment. We always appreciate the love, but it's been real. Take care, brother.
I'll talk to you tomorrow, buddy. Have a good night.
All right, y'all be good, America. Be kind to each other. It's been real.
Don't work that dog too much. That dog.
Oh no! I'm about to give his ass a rawhide. Sit your ass down.
But we'll talk. Be good.
Yo. Sound like hell to the earth. Let's get it. Let's go. Yeah. Alright, let me get serious this time. Yo, I'm on my God of War shit. All the war spits, let the bass kick. Nigga, feel the fucking floor lift. Watch your pores rip from these razor blade fingertips. Smoke hit your face like a hammer fist. Outstanding with suicidal flow. Nose diving to a free fall. Speedball, cannonball, jerking out on Adderall. I just watch the bodies fall. Supercharged like Dragon Ball. When I spit this fire out my mouth, you hear the dragon skull. Deadly with explosive, if you're softer than some woven silk. Grind the rapper's flesh in the syrup and call it muscle milk. Some nutritious, my hunger forever endless. I'm vicious and bloodthirsty, my nigga. I handle business pretentious, I leave them injured. Eating figures for dinner, underground like not the splinter. Then hibernate for the winter. Illiterate, so I can give a fuck about the sentence. Belligerent, so I don't give a fuck about repentance. Johnny plays with a bag of haze over most spirits. I'm forced to be reckoned with when I'm beating all limits. These lyrics are packed with venom. Rattlesnakes in the kitchen, cooking the recipes full of poison. I leave them finished.
Come to punches, yo, I only landed threes. These thick-fired MCs is copping plan B. Never was a M fan, they can't stand me. Been dope since before Hope sampled Annie. If it's smoke, I ain't gon' blame the jammy. Cause smoke, my hands is nicer than your granddaddy. Don't spar unless you a piece and a half. If you same boat when I put feet on the track, I fuck MCs up, I'm bringing evil back. Yea, though I walk through the valley, I push it. They gon' find rappers that got at me in my footprints. The embodiment of cocaine and no-dos. I got a habit of pulling souls through nose holes. Open your old hole, sugar, you sweet. If it's BP, I'll bring it to your door like Uber Eats.
Deliver a fade to all you niggas, I just wanna unload. Basking and scream on my foes, find a way to compose. The ashes spray up my throat, pull them fuse up the dope. Blow a ring of the smoke, terrorize all the small fires, wash them down with a coke.
Viciously viscous, I flow like rape whispers. You wishless spitters or beat the Big Dipper. Front away, bitch, you ain't clapping shit. Keep playing G, the mask don't fit. You tonic water MCs minus the flavor. I'm the illest since my mom went into labor. Sick with it, slick with it, punchlines is a major. You motherfuckers to sit back.